Hi everybody, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is November 5th, the weekend, and this of course is the weekend video. We'll go over what happened last week, and it was a crazy week for sure, and then we'll take a look at what we got coming up this week. So let's get down to it. Okay, so starting out with a quick week in review, October 28th. All the markets really just ripped higher, and I guess that was started by the Fed Powell comments that investors really took as more dovish. We didn't get a rate hike, which nobody expected anyway, but that was comments after he made was investors took as a little bit dovish. Maybe they're finished raising rates, and then of course we got that labor news on Friday. Weaker employment data, weaker sort of wage growth, and that really lit a fire under the markets on Friday as well, thinking that maybe the rate hikes are having their effect and they could possibly be done. So we got these eye-popping gains on the indexes. You can see there. Best probably week I think for the year so far. We still did finish down on the month on a lot of these indexes, but really went out on a bang here this week. There wasn't a single sector that was in the red. Real estate and consumer discretionary, they were the biggest gainers. Not really sure why consumer discretionary if the consumer here or the employment data is getting weaker, but that's what happens. Starbucks did come out with some good numbers. Energy, that was the one that gained the least on the week, just fractionally green, but still a green nonetheless. And you can see how the impact on the treasuries, you can see here we dropped pretty significantly. These are big movements for treasuries. They don't usually move around that much. The dollar was down, of course, with the interest rates down, dollar gets weaker usually. And Bitcoin put in another $1,000 gain this week, so that was a nice move off for Bitcoin. And that was the week in review. Okay, and before we get started looking at some indexes charts, quick plug for my book on Amazon. This one's How to Swing Trade, a beginner's guide to trading tools, money management rules, routines, and strategies of a swing trader. So that's there if you want to check it out. So let's get down and start looking at some charts here. As always, start out with a 2-year, and you can see, as already talked about, we had pretty significant drop in treasury yields, and we seem to be have found a high here just around 5 on the 2-year, and maybe going to be rolling over a little bit if everybody feels like the Fed is done raising. And you can see here we really did break sort of this sort of uptrend. So we'll see how we manage on this pullback. We've had pullbacks before here, but we'll see if we can pull back maybe into this 4.5, 4.3 range and stay there. But treasuries do look like the 10-year does look like it's topped out for the time being. And this is probably a pretty familiar chart we're going to be seeing in just about all the indexes. Treasuries, this is the transports, of course. We just had a real turnaround day here. Did find a bottom, and I mentioned this. We were getting into an area where we'd probably find some support. You can see here this is really extended in terms of selling. So we were due for a bounce, and then you got those comments from Fed Powell, and then the weak employment data that just really lit a fire into the market and got the shorts running for cover here. So you can see pretty nice rebound here right off a very predictable level on the transports. Again, same comments on the Dow. Gain came down into a level very oversold and came ripping back there on some positive news. And again, recapturing this area here, sort of 33,000. Kind of lost that last week. Probably shorts leaned into this and then really got squeezed back as we came back and recaptured that 33,000 level. The Qs, again, same comment, lost this level here, really broke down and found some support here. And then again, last week came ripping back. And there's your weekly. Again, volume not great actually when you look at it. So maybe not as convincing as it looks to be. But again, SPY sort of same deal here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all looking good after getting really oversold and getting down into an area of prior support, which was way back here. And again, the SPY really recaptured and came back up into an area where there's probably some resistance around 440. And the IWM really again lost this level here last week and really started to sell off some more and then came back up, got back up into that trading range that we've been looking at for some time. But this area back here was the area where we were looking at for support, and that's exactly where we came from on this this trade here. So back up into this trading range here. The VIX, every day the VIX just took a hit after sort of double topping here. So not surprising, as the markets go up, the VIX drops. And the dollar, of course, with the dollar, with the treasuries really falling out of bed here, the yields dropping significantly, the dollar dropped as well. So that's what we're looking at. So very, very interesting topping action here, right at this prior level of resistance. So no surprise there. And you can see Bitcoin's up actually over 35,000 now. So I think I mentioned it when I looked at it yesterday, it was 34,700, and it keeps moving up here. So path of least resistance for Bitcoin does look higher. It's sort of making this this wedge formation. You can see here higher lows every pullback, and this is kind of an area, so it's looking like an ascending triangle ready to break out. And yeah, so this area here is an area that this 35,000 level is an area, if we can break through, you know, could easily start to make its way to 40. And that's it for the indexes. So stocks I'm watching this week, Apple again, always trades fairly well, and again, just a really nice comeback from essentially losing a level of support, came right back up, and even even when it came out with those earnings, fourth quarter in a row where earnings dropped, they still managed to come back up and finish with a hollow fill candle on the day. So you know, pretty positive price action, even though they sold off in the morning. Came right back up there, but I'm thinking sort of 180 is an area that might be good for a you know, shorting a call, because I think it's going to have trouble getting through that area. AMD, funny, the earnings came out, didn't really react much, but then the buying kicked in, and we just got this massive candle. Again, big move here, a little bit of consolidation Thursday, and then a breakout on Friday. So it's going to be interesting to see if this can actually hold. A lot of volume in this region that we made and got through. And yeah, AMD could go higher here. So this definitely, this sort of 110 level looks like support now. And we'll see where AMD can go. Amazon's looking, had a nice, I think a good earnings report. Or at least it came really right back up here, showing some topping pattern here. So I think it's going to struggle to get above 140 at this point. GDX, again, gold had a nice run on Friday. Didn't quite get through 30, but again, this level right here may be a good place to sell some puts, because it looks like it's holding that level. Always a difficult trade to make, but you can see here, we are trying to break out. This 2,000 level on gold is an ounce level is kind of interesting. Meta, I've been trading around. I've been selling puts and selling calls. This 330 level looks kind of interesting. I think even 320 after this big comeback, and certainly, of course, this 280 level looks like pretty solid support on Meta. Pretty safe bet there. NVIDIA seems to be, it was trading in this range for a little while, and now it seems to be breaking out here. Again, this maybe 470 level looks a little challenging, but again, the trend seems to be breaking out of, we're breaking out of a downtrend here, so the bias is to the upside. Oracle, Oracle's kind of interesting too. This is a sort of a under the radar AI play, and could be interesting. We're right in an area of prior support, which now will probably become resistance. And again, this sort of 110 level looks like an area that you could watch, either sell some calls, but if it breaks above there, it could be going up to next level 112.50, and then really starting to take off there. Oracle could be interesting. QCOM reported last week again. It seemed to be quite extended here, so maybe due for a little bit of a pullback. Tesla really had bad earnings, and it's come right back up here. Tesla always seems to find buyers at some point, and but it looked like it didn't have a great day on Friday, even though markets did have a good day. So maybe this 230 level is going to be a challenge for Tesla. And the XLY, consumer discretionary. Not really sure why it rallied so much, given the fact that there was sort of weaker economic news for the labor market, but we did get a rally back up. I think this is an area 162.50 where I think that we may have some challenges getting through. So next week, I think we're gonna, we probably see some positive follow through, but I think we're gonna see a little bit of consolidation. Just like when you get this big downtrend that gets oversold, we've had this massive move back up, and I think we're getting a little bit overbought. So, but we are going into the end of the year, and Santa Claus is coming to town. We always seem to get there's the Santa Claus rally. So November and December could be good months overall, but look for a little bit of consolidation before we start to move higher. And that's about it. So let's wrap things up here. November 5th, what do we got to look forward to? You can see here, these are where we are right now on the indexes. We did recapture some critical support, and now we're back into some ranges there. So you can see where support and resistance is the way I see it. As far as economic data goes, we do have some stuff coming up. We got a lot of Fed speakers this week. I had too many to put on there, actually. I think some Fed officials probably speaking almost every day this week, but the big one will be 2 p.m. Fed Powell is chairing a panel discussion, so that could cause some volatility. Veterans Day on Friday, thinking of our veterans, but trading day as per usual, but a federal holiday nonetheless. As far as earnings go, we still have a raft of earnings to get through here. Some of the big ones are already done, but we've still got some interesting ones coming up. Uber, Disney, some of the Roblox, and yeah, so that'll be sort of another interesting week of earnings. So that's it, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. You've got an extra hour this weekend to enjoy, so take care, and we'll see you at 8 o'clock live on YouTube Monday morning. And of course, Trading the Markets Open 9:30 with our members. Bye for now.